Welcome back, people. We got the Samebike L026. So today my front room is literally becoming like my workshop. I got no room, but anyway, the Samebike L026 is an electric bike. Now, to wash a normal bike is very simple. To wash an electric bike, on the other hand, is very, very different. So I'm going to show you my way of how I wash this bike in a safe way without damaging anything, without damaging the electric converter or the motor or any water getting into the wires. Electric bikes to wash can be quite complicated if you don't know what you're doing. So let's take my bike gloves there and put them off to one side. My bike definitely needs a wash. It's past time. Look how dirty it is. And these wheels are extremely dirty. Look, check this out. Look at that dust there. Look at that. Can you actually see that layer of dust there? That is because I've been taking the bike obviously off-road. We've done videos of it of this bike going off-road. We changed from mechanical brakes to the hydraulic pull brakes. Best thing I ever did. So definitely recommend getting those. We've changed the thumb throttle to an electric twist throttle. We made a video of. We changed from the standard tyres to these big thick tyres. We've done the speed hack. We've done all different settings on the speed as well to show you guys that. We've also done a battery maintenance hack. So we've done lots of different things. We've shown how to fix the front suspension squeak, how to fix the back suspension squeak. But again, this one is how I wash my bike. Now the good thing is I can do it inside my house because it's not going to get messy. So you can do this inside your own bedroom like I'm doing this in my front room. So we need 3 sets of cloths. Now, one cloth I'm going to leave to one side, and the reason why is because that one is going to be for my wheels, so that's going to be the one that I use last. And then we got 2 cloths here. Now, they're very standard, cheap cloths. They're not very expensive. I brought these from Asda. I think a pack of 5 cost me, I think it was about 50p a pound. It wasn't more than a pound. So very cheap. If you don't have this, you can always get an old t-shirt and cut it up and use parts of a t-shirt. Again, that's just another way of doing it to try and save yourself a little bit of money if you want to save a bit of cash. But anyway, we get into it. One of them is going to go in some clean water just there, just like that. That one's going to go in there. That one's going to be our drying method. Well, kind of drying method. And then this one is going to be our cleaning method. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wash it with this, which is basically a bit of water with the good old fairy. It doesn't have to be fairy washing up liquid. As long as it's washing up liquid, that'll be fine. So just get it nice and wet. Squeeze it. And the reason why I'm washing it this way is because I don't want any parts rusting. Not only I don't want parts rusting, but again, this being an electric bike, there's a lot of electric wires that you do not want certain water to go into. Now, on the electric motor on the back, just to mention, this bike is actually waterproof, so it can take a bit of water. But the worst part is if you get water on the converter, which is inside here, if water gets in there and it goes inside to the converter or into the battery, you could short circuit the battery, or worse, you could actually damage the converter itself and you need a whole new converter, which would be expensive. So we're going to start off with this part here because we don't need to really worry about that. So there's not really any, I've lost my voice, not really any open wires there. So apart from here, this part here, this rubber seal, I've tried a million times to push it in and it always comes back out. So is what I'm going to do for that, because I can't do anything about it. I might try and find some kind of hack that I can do for it. If I can't, then is what I'm going to do in the winter time, because I'm here in the UK, we do get a lot of rain. See what I mean? Just comes back out. Yeah, we do get a lot of rain. So is what I will do is I will just put a little bit of electrical tape there for the time being. When it's raining, obviously. So yeah, unless I find another hack for it, and then I might do something else, like maybe a little small cork in there would probably be good. So now I've gone over with the soap. I've now got my other cloth, which I've taken from the clean empty water, and I'm just gonna now go over it, just so that way I don't keep any soap studs on there. This first top bit's probably the easiest part to clean. Again, you don't want nothing saturated. It's just kind of like damp in your hands. because you don't want water going up in here into your key. You definitely don't want water going in here where you charge it. So this is why I wash it this way, so water does not damage my bike. Again, always give it a squeeze. You don't have to squeeze it like, oh, really hard. Just hold it, give it a squeeze, just to the point where, like now, if I carried on squeezing it, more water would come out. But it's not dripping, you see. That's the kind of way you want it. So anyway, now this part here, this little small bit, this is where the converter is. I'm just going to clean that up. And the good thing is you don't have to push it really hard. You just basically, it's just wiping it. That's all it is. You're just wiping it, and it will come off very easy. Do not use any sort of sponge with this scourer thing on, because by doing that, you will end up taking off paintwork. There's a good possibility you could do that. If not, there is a way that you could even end up scratching it in a, yeah, and it just wouldn't look good. So don't recommend using anything like that at all. No sponge, just a cloth. Okay, so now we've done that. Again, this one here, this video might go on a little bit longer because obviously this is an electric bike. With the electric bikes, you have got to be a little bit more cautious. Now the reason why I made this video is, like, I didn't think that this video would be that helpful, if I'm honest, but a lot of people have asked me how do they wash their bike, and that is why I'm now showing this video, because there was quite a few out there that didn't know. Which, as I said, for me it's quite simple, because it's something, look at that dirt there, it's something that I would do anyway. You know, I do this maybe once every 2 weeks. If it gets really dirty, I could do it once a week, but there is a few out there that obviously do not know, because they've never had electric bikes. But me myself, obviously, because I've had a lot of different electric bikes, I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm no expert, I've got no degree or anything in electrics, but I've just messed around with them for a long time, and that's what's made me very knowledgeable about all different things on this bike. If you get problems with your bike, I'm the guy to come to. I should be able to help you out. I haven't yet not managed to help anybody. I've always managed to help somebody, whether it's squeaking or code errors or some sort of problem. Alright, so now that's that part done. Now we get this one here, squeeze it, and we'll wipe over there like that. So we can also get a dry cloth after and just wipe off the excess of the water if we want to, which I probably will do that, just because I don't want nothing rusting. So after we've done the wash and then the rinse, you can get another dry cloth and go over the bike. But for that, I'm probably going to do that after, not right now. I could dry it right now, but I'm not going to. So same, just give this part here, doesn't really matter how wet this gets. Do the same on the other side. I know you can't really see the other side because I got my chest cam mounted. I still don't have a tripod. We do gaming, and when we do gaming I do face cam, just to mention that if anybody's interested in gaming, you could always check it out across the channel. I'm not going to bother to clean these pedals, pretty much pointless. So just going to squeeze that one out there out of the plain water. So we basically keep wiping over with the washing up liquid, and then we're kind of rinsing off with this one that's in the plain water. That's how I do it. Everybody's probably got a different way to do it, but this is just my way and it works good. So now we've done that, that's probably the easiest part, or the quickest part should I say. This part here can be a little bit of a pain because it's very dirty. So the soapy one, give it a good squeeze. Then we start off here first. So we've got maintenance video on this bike, how to maintain it. That's going to be coming soon. How I keep my bike in good condition, stop it from squeaking, and keep it running nice and smooth, and the things that you should technically do on this bike to keep it running top tip condition. That video is going to be coming, so keep an eye out for it. Look how dirty it is. it is proper dirty. It did need this clean. For the fact the bike is really white as well, I like to keep it nice and clean, because then it makes the bike look very unique. Most of the people that see me on this bike, as soon as people see me on this bike, they're like, oh my god, that's really unusual bike, I love that bike. What is it? I'm like, it's an electric bike. And then that's when they become stunned. They're like, what? No way. I'm like, yeah, it's electric. And they don't believe me. So I have to kind of get off the bike, lift the bike up, and quickly run the throttle. Okay. So that's that side at the bottom. Now we're going to do this part here, running up this cable, which is where your brake's at. I forgot to move the camera there. I have to keep looking at the camera every now and again to make sure we have the right angles. I definitely do need to invest in a tripod. I keep saying it so much and I just don't get round to getting one. It's not something that I honestly think of, if I'm honest. That's clearly why I don't have one yet. Alright, give that. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. Again, I can't really show you the other side because I've got the chest cam on, and it means I'll have to move from where I'm at, and right now I'm actually in a good place to reach all of it. So really dirty. Always leave your wheels till last. You definitely want to leave your wheels to the last point, because the wheels are going to be the thing that is the most dirtiest on this bike for sure. So leave your wheels to the very last part, the last thing that you do. Thanks for everyone's support recently as well. We've been getting crazy amount of subscribers, and you guys are really loving this bike, us showing the off-road and on grass and taking this on different tracks. You guys have really liked it, you really have enjoyed it, so thanks for everyone who's been giving support. Alright, so now let's get this one a bit closer. This is the plain water. Squeeze it really hard now, and then we're just going to basically wipe over everything that we've just used our washing up liquid cloth with. It's looking better already, that's for sure. It's looking nice. If you take care of your bike, it takes care of you. That's always been my pro tip on any sort of bike, whether it's electrical or normal bike, or no matter what electric bike it is. This always seems like the way to do it. If you look after your bike well, it looks after you well. And when I say looks after you well, I mean it's less chance for it to break down, and it will brake when you want it to brake. It will change gear when you want it to change gear. Alright, so that is pretty much that done. Now the main thing left, as I said, is the wheels that we're going to leave till last, because the wheels are the pain. Actually, do you know what, this cloth that I said leave to the side for wheels, I could probably use that cloth for the wheels, which is the one that I actually did originally. So this one, because it's dry, I'm just going to quickly just go over really quick. It's only going to take me a second. Now under here, if you're cleaning under there, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick, because we didn't actually show that under there. That's where the wires are at. So there, you can just give it a little light wipe either side, and then when you get down to the key part, don't wipe that, use a dry cloth for that. Alright, so I'm now grabbing water from the clean water, no soaps, going under both sides. So because this one hasn't got much water on, because I squeezed it really hard, this one you can just wipe around the key area. Don't put it in the key area, just wipe around the key area, that's it. Okay, then we, again, this dry cloth, I'm just going to run underneath them cables there, around the key, just like so. So this dry cloth is now drying our bike after we've washed it. The most important thing is probably around near the nuts, because you don't want things rusting. We also actually did a video of building this bike when I first got it as well, just to mention that, but I guess you guys are probably past that stage now. That's why you're watching this one, but you never know. There could be someone out there who's thinking about getting this bike and not sure on how to build it. Okay, I think we're almost ready for the wheels now. Just going over everything with this dry cloth. So again, maintenance, how to keep your bike running perfect. Washing it is part of one of the jobs, but to maintain it, again, there's different things you need to do, which we will make a video on. So the dry cloth put to one side. Now the wheels, as I said, this part's probably the part that takes a little bit longer, but it's kind of simple, but you got to be careful at the same time, because obviously you do have that electric hub motor in there. Now for that, to clean that, we're going to squeeze really hard and shake, and now there's next to nothing. And then we're just going to put it in the center there and just go around just like that. Once we've done that, move the wheel around a little bit, do the same again. Remember, you really want to squeeze this out hard. You really do want to squeeze it. Turn the wheel again, stop. Turn the wheel a bit more. There we go. Okay, so now we've done that. We don't want to go crazy with it. Anytime you're doing that hub motor, squeeze as hard as you can, literally as hard as you can. That hub motor is not really dirty on the sides, so that's one good thing. But I am going to be going over with that cloth there with the clean water without soap, so I'm not going to bother any more with that. So this cloth here, again, it is quite dry. There's no dripping. And then we're just gonna, this bit can be a bit time consuming, but just take your time, there's no rush. Let me just angle the camera a bit better, and then we're just going to basically go over each spoke, tilt the bike to one side a little bit, because we do have that that stand there, which I love that stand, I really do. And the reason why I like it so much is because it makes it easy for when I'm doing things like cleaning and trying to stand the bike up. Obviously save me putting it against the wall, saves it getting damaged. So I'm just lightly going over every single spoke, not too crazy, just basically going over it. Obviously if you've got a bit of mud on there, you might have to add a little bit of pressure, but you don't need much. You do not need to add much pressure at all. You don't want to end up breaking one of the spokes and damaging something, and then you need to replace spokes. Again, I can replace the spokes myself, so if I ever do have the problem where I do have to replace the spokes on this bike, I will do it. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there who's replaced spokes anyway. And again, to replace spokes on an electric bike compared to a normal bike, it's the same way. It runs the same way. It goes the same, you know, the way they screw in and everything is the same. So you could always look across YouTube, and I'm pretty sure you'll end up finding someone who does end up showing you how to tighten up your spokes. And also, you know, with this part here, the electric hub motor, that would be the same as your spindle. It's the same thing, it's just that there is an electric motor. That's the only difference, but it still works the same way. Again, squeezing really hard, and now we just go around the whole thing just like that. Okay, you don't need to actually clean the tire, just to mention that the tire a tire is always going to get dirty, okay? So I wouldn't bother trying to clean the tire. Squeezing hard again. Now on the other side, I just wipe, give it a turn, wipe, give it a turn. Yeah, you get the idea. Okay, now we've done that. That was very dirty. We are going to do the front forks and the front wheel. Don't worry about that, I'll show you that. Okay, so you just a quick little wipe. Just basically, all I'm doing is just going like that in a line all the way around. Keep spinning the wheel just so that way we get the centerpiece of this wheel. Very easy to do. Nothing too hard. Now this does, as I said, it does look a bit simple, this video, it really does, but then there is people out there that don't know how to do this. Some people don't know how to wash a bike because they've never owned a bike. Some people don't know how to wash electric bikes because they don't feel comfortable with being electric. You can definitely wash it, but you just need to be careful with the water. You don't need to go over the top with it. You go over the top with it and then it's going to be expensive. You're going to end up breaking things and it's not good. So that's kind of dirty. Let's just put that in there, give that a little whisk around. Wow, that water is really dirty. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. That is really dirty. Okay, shake your hand off. Get this clean one. Just water. Give it a squeeze. Squeeze it quite hard. And then you do exactly the same as what you just did. Wipe all the way around the side of the rim. You do the same on the other side, turning the tyre. There we go. Now with the spokes, very simple, but we're going to use the dry cloth for that. We're not going to rinse it off with this water. It's just, again, it's just my way of doing it, that's all. Okay, there we go. And in between each part of the wheel as well, here, this part here, I'm just going to use the dry cloth. So this is the dry cloth going over every single spoke that I just wiped. You don't have to do it this way. This is Bubbles' way. This is Bubbles' way of doing it. Alright. So because it's so hot here today in the UK, this bike would probably dry pretty quick if I left it, but I don't want to take any chance of any bits rusting. Now the main parts you do not want to really rust on this wheel is the parts of the spokes, because the spokes is obviously going to connect up to the wheel and to the motor. Now if you are having rusty parts there, it's going to weaken the back wheel. And again, I could always change it myself, I could, but just because I can change it doesn't mean that I shouldn't look after it the proper way, and that is by trying to dry off them components of where bits and pieces will connect together. For the brakes, we're going to do the brakes they're going to be the very last thing that we do. Cleaning the brakes, that is always the very last thing that I do. Okay, I think we're good. So now we've done that, in between each and every bit here, I'm just going to quickly wipe with the cloth and spin the wheel at the same time. Wipe. This part's pretty quick, pretty easy. This part doesn't take very long because you haven't got you're not washing it now, you're just basically drying off the excess and any extra dirt on there. This bike is looking better already. Some people don't ever wash their bikes. I gotta admit, I'm not a big fan of washing bikes, but I did it just to show you guys, and I did it because when it does get dirty, if you don't look after it, it won't look after you again. That's always been my method of bikes. Look after it well and it looks after you well. Alright, so there's that one. That's that one complete. Now we move over to the front. Over here, let's grab this one. Let's grab our other one. And let's put our dry cloth closer to us. So with the forks, good squeeze, really hard. You don't need to clean this part. If you're going to clean that part or wipe that part, I would recommend using a dry cloth, not a wet cloth. Use a dry cloth only. That's again just my way. So got this soapy one here right now. Again, I'm not going to touch that silver bit at all. I don't want to mess with that. If I want to clean that, I'm going to use just a dry cloth. So that's that side of the fork, nice and quick. The other side, not touching the silver part, just the bottom part of the suspension. There we go, nice and quick. See, this is why you can do things in your house. If you don't, you know, some people would take it outside and chuck a bucket of water over it, which is an option. It's definitely an option. Would I do it? Definitely not. Just because even though these are waterproof, they're waterproof. It doesn't say fully waterproof. If you get water in that electric motor, or you get water in that converter, you are going to have to replace it and buy a new one. So do take that into your mind and think about that, because do you want to do that? Not really. Okay, squeeze really hard, wiping around the whole side of the rim, same as we did on the back. Now we're doing the same on the front. There we go. Good squeeze. Same on the other side. I know you can't see the other side, but it's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing that we're doing. Can't quite reach there. There we go. All right. Good squeeze, really hard. Now with this part, I normally just wipe a little bit there, come from the other way, wipe a bit there, and then wipe a bit there. That's the center of the wheel. You don't need to touch this disc brake itself. Again, I'm going to clean that. I'm going to show you how I'm going to clean that a different way, not the way with water. Definitely not. Right, so now we've done that, another good squeeze. I know this video has gone on long, as I mentioned, but we're trying to do it safely, trying to do it properly. Now I'm going to wipe every spoke. There's my brother just turned up. So cleaning each and every spoke now, just running over, just making a video, Doc. I'm nearly done. I'm just showing how to clean this bike in a good way. I won't be long. Almost done now. Okay, so cleaning every spoke, just using again the cloth with the washing up liquid. I'll put that in there. Then I'm going to use this dry cloth and do the same thing. Go over in the center of the wheel there. Just keep that nice and dry. And then all around the wheel, this side, all around the wheel on the other side. Can't quite reach it. There we go. And then quickly wipe off all of these spokes. I'm just trying to speed it up now because I've got my brother just turned up. He's on his lunch break from work. Right, then clean in between each spoke. Well, not clean, you're basically drying, but yeah, cleaning at the same time. If there is any dirt left on there, you'll be taking it off. Okay, that's it. Now the last thing to do is I'm going to show you how, oh, my foot's gone dead. Now I'm going to show you how to clean the brakes, or my way of cleaning the brakes. This was really good. This was thanks to one of our subscribers telling me about this to fix my brakes, clean them up. Brake cleaner, professional brake cleaner parts, just a spray. I spray a little bit inside the brake, a little bit on the disc, and once I've done that, I then get my dry cloth and just wipe it off, because there's always going to be dirt on that disc brake, always. Quick, very simple. Look at that, that's kind of dirty there. I don't know if you can see that. And we move over to the front. It's the last one. Quick little, there we go. I'm going to quickly wipe that because I don't want too much dripping on my carpet. That's it. So again, with the chain, how to lube up the chain and how to maintain the bike. We'll have another video on that. I know this one went on for 30 minutes, but I'm trying to show you the right way of washing the bike without damaging the bike at all in any sort of way. Just to show you real quick, let's turn her on. There we go. Oh, okay, maybe it was already switched on. Maybe I left it switched on. Okay, now let's turn it on. There we go. It's always a nerve-wracking thing. Hold the up button, as you can see there. We're back in business, nice and clean and ready to hit the road. So to maintain the bike, keeping it in one piece, washing it is one thing you need to do. Then you need to lube everything and lube the chain, suspensions and other bits and pieces, which I'll have another video on that coming soon. I hope this one did help you out. Drop a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. That's it. We catch you people again soon for some more fun and games. I'm out.